My birds, and some people will laugh at this, but most of my birds have pedigrees, so I know the bloodline, and I buy and breed my birds to have the best bloodline, just like racing horses. You want the best horse for the race. And I train them out about 50-mile radius from my home loft, which then in turn I can take them out to about 75, 80 miles and release them. I usually don't draw much business that far away. I do offer that just in case, but that does get pricey because I do charge. Like on my website, it will say, I think it says a 50-mile radius. Well, it's actually less than that for no charge. And then, 50 and over, up to 50 and over, it's a fee for me to travel that extra distance.
How do you transport your birds to an event?
I have little crates, special pigeon crates, and they're protective for the birds' feathers. They can't get hurt,
Okay.
but they can breathe and be seen.
Are there safety issues for your birds when you're doing a release?
Oh, there's a lot. And like with funerals, you can't drop a contract and explain things to people because most time I get called today for a funeral tomorrow. I've been called in the morning to do a funeral in 3 hours.
Oh.
So it can happen quick. And like the weddings and other events that are in the future, we have a contract and it has all that laid out as far as, acts of God we can't control.
Right.
So we may schedule something a month ahead and there just may be total thunder and rain. We can't release in thunder and rain. I can release in clouds and light rain, and maybe a little bit more than that, but foul weather I just cannot do. And when it gets close to dark,
Foul?
yes, foul weather
Play on
I
words
cannot do. Yep. And indoors, cannot, didn't even mean to do that. Indoors, I do not do any indoor releases.
Okay.
Yeah, because the birds, they do need a certain time to get home. So generally I don't release hour and a half before sunset.
How do you train your birds? Do you train them
I
yourselves?
do, yes. It's a lot of work. When they're about 30 days old, I start letting them come out of the loft. And they'll kind of jump around, flit around, go down to the ground and back up. And they start figuring their way around. They start flying around the house. And then they'll do what we call routing or tripping. And that's when they'll fly away for about 30 minutes to an hour. And then I know they're ready to go down the road. So I'll put them in a basket with all the same aged birds. And I'll take them maybe 5 miles one way and just turn them loose and let them fly back. And I'll do that several times the same direction till they're coming back fast, and I'll go another direction and just keep working the perimeter around the loft and get them out to about 50 to 80 miles.
I just think that's fascinating.
It is. It's always fascinated me all my life. And there's theories of how they home. All birds have a natural homing instinct of some type. And, they say that the pigeons have use landmarks and whatever, magnetic field of the earth, and I really think it's got a lot to do with the magnetic field of the earth. Ever since cell phones have become real popular, we lose a lot more birds.
Oh.
And you can release
Didn't
your
know that.
birds where there's a lot of towers, cell phone towers, and you'll have birds coming in later than they usually do. It takes longer to get home, and you lose some.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you do dove releases at night or in cold weather?
Cold weather, the temperature doesn't bother them, not at night. But now, I say temperature doesn't bother them, but if it's extremely hot, they're slow coming back. But they can still fly.
Like we are.
Yes.
In a lot of humidity.
I think they stop to get a drink.
I noticed on your website that your customers do select a variety of packages. Can you give us a little more detail about like what a wedding package involves or
Right.
what a funeral package involves?
Yes. Like the wedding package, you can do just a display, which would be 2 doves representing the bride and the groom. And doves mate for life. So there's an example there with the doves that are mated for life. And we also give a poem, and we have that framed, and we give that to the bride and groom. And we have several poems, and usually we let them pick one. If they don't know what they want to pick, we'll just pick one and have it, and if they like it, they can take it. There's no charge for that. That's included. And then the package goes from that to just the 2 dove release package. They can just release 2 doves, and I think that's like $200 to release 2 doves, and that includes me showing up. I stayed for the entire event keep an eye on my birds, and I'm there when it's over so they can come out and I help them release them. I'm not in any wedding photos. They don't say, who's that strange guy? What's he doing crouched down? So, and then it goes on up, like 12 doves. I have a family release package where so many members, I think I've got it on there, up to 12 members of the family can actually release a dove with you, and representing the two families coming together. And then like the funerals, we offer a display dove in the funeral home, and then we have what we call the Trinity release. And I have a little, I think I got a picture here today, but it's a chapel, looks like a little church, and it holds 3 white dove. And then I have a little basket for the widow or the family member that's going to do the release with the spirit dove. And we'll open the church, we do a reading. We have several readings to pick from. We do a reading, which signifies the dove in the funeral. And we open the church, the 3 doves fly out, representing the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Then once they ascend, the family member will release the spirit dove to join them on the journey to heaven.
That's really interesting. It's got a lot of background.
It does,
to
yes.
And you can adapt these packages.
Oh yeah, we customize many packages.
Customize, I guess.
And a lot of customers will just say, I just don't know, I don't understand, and you explain it to them. And I've had some that just say, you do something, and then that's easy too, and we do it, and they're always satisfied.
You brought some pictures, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, if you'll put the pictures up, we'll get Paul to tell us what they are.
This is actually a family member of mine we did a wedding for, and you see the little decorative cage there. That's 2 white doves they had on display, and that's the poem and the frame that they're holding there. That was a real beautiful event. That's a Cinderella theme. And this is a few of my baskets. I have so many, but this is just an example there. White wicker baskets, and that's the large heart-shaped basket in the middle, and then a couple of just square baskets on the sides there that can be used in any event. And they're all painted and decorated. And you can put anything on these baskets to add more color and customize them per event as well. Now this is it's not the best picture, but this is my church release. And you see I've got 3 doves in there now on a pedestal. They're peeking out. And this was, I don't remember the event, but anyway, I got the picture, and it shows my chapel release. And the front of that will open down on the end there, and they'll fly out, and then the other one will join them.
So this is sort of a little mock-up of a church.
It is. It looks like a little church. It's got a little bell on the front and a little cross, and then the door is a hinged door that just opens downward like a little ramp, and they'll actually come out. And it's nice because it's not too small, but they're confined in there that when they come out single file. It's not like this big burst of birds. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and they're out. And they
Do you build these yourself? Or?
No, I don't. A fellow in Minnesota built this one. He has a supply store, and I purchased most of my items from him. He's a reputable dealer. Oh, and this was, that's my son beneath me there, and that, you can't see me, I'm hidden by the basket. But that's one of our small little baskets, and that's one of our doves being released. And this was this past fall at the Blessings of the Animals ceremony at Holy Cross Regional Catholic School. And that's one of our doves there. Before the ceremony, I read a little reading and released the dove.
So you actually get involved in these some of these ceremonies?
Pretty much all of them.
Oh.
And this is right before we released it. We were listening to the priest. He was saying the prayer and saying the blessing. And we were just getting ready to release it there. But yes, I do 99% of the releases myself. And I assist everybody that wants to do one. But, you know, I run the business. It's, you know, it's not a huge business. It's just a part-time hobby / business. And when I get called to do an event, you know, I do it and enjoy doing it. And that's another photo there. I think that was before the wedding of the birds in their cage. And I have several cages for my displays, and that's pretty much my basic setup there. You know, nice little table with the doves and the reading. And it's amazing the people that are drawn to it.
So this is the poem, the frame
that
poem.
Is, yes, yep, that's
over
it.
to the right.
Mm-hmm. That's another picture of us at the Blessings of the Animals.